Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining us for this election special edition right here on WLTX Plus. I'm Christy Calcagno. Well, polls across South Carolina have been open since 7 a.m. today. Turnout has been pretty steady throughout the Midlands, but we have crews live across 4 counties. You can see them all right there on your screen. We have Josie in Richland County, Kiki's over in Lexington, Megan is in Columbia, and we have Jamin covering Orangeburg County. Each of them are tracking the vote. They're talking to voters, and they're also monitoring any issues at the polls. We're going to get to that in just a second. Let's go ahead and start on over in Richland County. Thousands of voters have already cast their ballots in today's election. That's according to the county's election director there. Our Josie Frost has been in Richland County tracking the polls since they opened this morning. She joins us live now from the Dreher High School precinct with the latest. Josie, what can you tell us?
Christy, things have been going pretty smoothly here today. We've been here most of the day, and there's been sort of a steady trickle of people coming in for the last couple hours. So I'll step out of the way so you can see behind me. This is where they have voters coming into the building. And for most of the day today, we've never seen any people backed up out of the building here or any long lines. And actually where I'm standing right now is the curbside line where voters can come through. If they have a handicap sticker, they can come through and vote right from their car. Someone will come out with them and assist them and allow them to vote from their car. So that's another thing we've seen a couple people take advantage of since we've been out here today. Now, I wanted to bring you the most up-to-date numbers for who has come to vote at this location. So I just spoke to the clerk here at the Dreher High School location. He said so far just over 300 people have come to cast their ballot today. He says that's just around 25% of voters assigned to this location. Now, as of 12:30 this afternoon, I actually spoke to the county elections director, and he told me that 5,600 voters have cast their ballot across all of Richland County. Now, for here at Dreher, voters tell me that the process has been pretty smooth and it's not taken any more than 5 minutes. Now, I spoke to one voter earlier today who says she's been coming to this location for about 20 years. And I asked her why it's so important to her to vote in these local elections.
This is our city. I mean, I know we're very much involved with what's going on in Washington, but this is Columbia, and we need to participate, and we need to get everybody involved.
Now, of course, it's very important to be prepared when you come to the polls. You need to bring your photo ID. You'll need that to vote as well. Christy?
All right, Josie, thank you so much. Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of people saying the local elections are so incredibly important there. Josie, I want to quickly go back to you. Have there been any issues so far since you've been there in Richland County? Any issues that you've seen at the polls so far?
Christy, there has been one thing that's come up with some of the voters that we've talked to coming in and out of not just this location, but other areas in Richland County as well, which is some of them might not know that their precinct has changed. Now, I'm told by the county elections director that this can happen, especially with local elections. People might not always check and make sure that their precinct hasn't changed since the last election. And he says that sometimes last-minute changes can happen, and it can be from a number of things. They might have to change a location last minute if they don't have proper staffing, or if the location might be closed for a couple hours of the day. So he says it's very important to check and make sure that you know that your precinct hasn't changed, even if you think you know what your precinct is. And he says it's best to do it day of to prevent any of those last minute changes from causing a problem when you go to cast your ballot. Christy?
All righty, Josie, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Yeah, that website to find out where your precinct is scvotes.gov. You can go ahead and search for it right now just to make sure you know exactly where your precinct is. Election officials also telling Josie that they do expect a late afternoon rush as voters head in after work, which is normally typical during this time of the day. All right, tossing things now on over into Lexington County. Voters are deciding several key races tonight, including the Chapin mayor's race, as well as multiple Lexington Town Council seats. We have News 19's Kiki Gushu now joining us live from the American Legion Post 7 polling location. So, Kiki, how has it been there so far?
Christy, it's been a steady flow of people, but voters tell me, and I've seen, that there is no line. There's plenty of parking for people who might be coming, and this is for the Town of Lexington Town Council election. So we're looking at 5 candidates for 3 open seats on council. Poll workers told me they arrived here at 5 a.m. and as of 2:30, they've had close to 300 voters here at this location. I spoke with one voter who said she almost did not come before she remembered her civic duty.
I think it's our duty, and we can't sit around and complain about what's happening if we don't do our part. And I had got up this morning and said, I'm not going to vote. And then I said, no, why did I say that? I have to vote. That's my duty. And I hope everybody feels like that. And it doesn't take long. There's not a line. Come on down.
Christy, as I said, there's plenty of parking. There's a big grassy area, so don't let that deter you. And there is also a bunch of friendly faces out front to guide you in, help you get all set up.
I love that, Kiki. I actually see a couple of them right there behind you. Very cool stuff there. I also really wanted to ask you about accessibility. You know, we just heard from that woman said, hey, it's my civic duty. I need to go out there. But let's talk about how accessible it is to go out and vote today.
Christy, they have made it very accessible here at the Legion. As you can see behind me, there's actually a car right now. It's a handicapped voter, and they're able to vote curbside. Now, they'll bring the ballot box out to the voter and really engage them and let them stay in their car, but still have that chance to vote if they might not be able to get inside. It's really an amazing, cool thing. And so there really is no deterrent for you to get out here and get to the polls, no matter your accessibility level. It's really a great thing to see. Christy?
Kiki, thank you so much. We appreciate you out there. Yeah, and it also looks like it's a beautiful day out there to go out, enjoy the sunshine, and go out and, like that woman said, to go and do your civic duty. We also do want to mention that you can also ride the Comet all for free. It'll take you over to any of the precincts that you need to. All you got to do is go on their website and you can go ahead and figure out when their stops are. But again, all of that is for free with the Comet. So just another way for you to get out there and vote sometime today. Switching gears now over to Megan Dauschke. She's joining us right now live from Columbia. Voters are picking who will then lead the capital city and also filling 2 open council seats. Megan, break down those races, those hotly contested races. What are we expecting?
Yeah, Christy. Yeah. So actually, right now I'm at the Richland County Voter Registration and Elections Office, and you actually can't come here to vote, but you can come here to find out what your precinct is, as well as change your voting address. So we've actually talked to a few people coming by thinking they could vote here. It was only open for early election, so make sure if you do need to find your address out, come by here. But let's kind of break down a little bit of the Columbia mayoral race. So this year we got 3 different candidates. Right now it's Daniel Rickenman, who currently holds that spot in office, Jessica Thomas, and Wade Fulmer. And I was talking to you a little bit earlier, Christy, about the Columbia kind of mayor history. And all of these people have held office in the past for a pretty long time. Now, in the past, before Mayor Rickenman, the last person who held office held it for 12 years, which was Stephen Benjamin. Prior to that, it was 10 years, before 4, but then before those 2 was 2 8-year terms. So kind of looking at this, we'll see, I guess, if Mayor Rickenman currently will be able to hold that seat again for another 4 years.
All righty, Megan, yeah, we appreciate you. That is another thing that you kind of mentioned. I found that so interesting, a little stat that you were able to give us because of the mayor's race, how they were able to kind of hold on to that for a long time. Really quickly, Megan, talk a little bit about what you've been seeing as far as the flow behind you at this election poll.
Yeah, I mean, right now, not really many people. We've seen some cars coming in and out of the parking lot to the side of me. Before you guys just got on air with you guys, there was a decent amount of people kind of coming up to us, like I said, saying that they expected to be able to vote here. And there's been a little bit of foot traffic back and forth. So hopefully they're going to go hit those polls after finding out where their polling location is. Thank you so much, Christy. Back to you. Megan Daukshis, News 19, WLTX.
All righty, Megan, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Now, it's not just the larger cities that are heading to the polls today. We got the smaller towns over in Orangeburg County. They also have a very full ballot tonight. We have Jamin Wade right now live in Ellery, where voters are deciding who will serve as mayor. So, Jamin, what are you seeing on over there in Ellery?
Yes, Christy, I am over here at Ellery Elementary School, where it's one of the voting locations, but it's been kind of slow moving in. I've seen a couple people come in, but I talked to staff and they did say that they do expect the people to come in a little closer to 5 o'clock once everybody kind of gets off. But yes, I am focusing on what's going on with mayor race. I talked to Alan Reeves last night, who was one of the candidates. I just got off the phone with him, who was telling me he's not having a specific watch party, but he is excited for the race. We also have Barbara J. Butler and James Kelly Umar that's on the candidacy. It is a tight race over here. When I was speaking to people out here, you know, it's been a lot of mixed things. I spoke to one person that was voting, and she just told me that all of her kids are now out of the house, and her son is in the Army, and she felt like it was her civic duty to kind of get involved and really learn what's going on in her town. And so that's kind of been the message that I've been getting a lot from a lot of voters out here in Ellery. But yeah, it's been slow here. It has been slow here, but we do expect that people will slowly start to come in.
Jamie, let me ask you one really quick question. I know you said that you were talking to some of the polling workers out there too. What's kind of the vibe that they're seeing? I mean, yes, they're voting for mayor, but also there's some stuff that I'm looking at here with public safety is also a big issue with the city budget. So what have you kind of been seeing as far as them? I mean, I feel like they've been up early in the morning making sure that everything's ready.
Yeah, I spoke to Tanya, who is the director of the Orangeburg County Voters Registration. She told me that they haven't really had any issues at any of the voting sites in Orangeburg County so far, and we're hoping to continue that trend throughout the night. We're hoping that everybody is able to get out here to vote safely, be able to do their civic duty, and be able to get in their votes. And so, yes, at this location, it's been open parking lot. There aren't any security or police here at this location, but it's also a very rural place here. And so we're expecting that it will still stay a safe place for people to be able to vote.
I love it, Jamin. Thank you so much. We appreciate you, and we appreciate all of our reporters who are out there covering all of these races. Another one that we're tracking, we have Columbia City Council District 4, as News 19's Taylor Richardson spoke with all three of those candidates about their main priorities.
The Columbia City Council District 4 election features the incumbent Peter Brown and the challengers Ashley McCall and Julie Lumpkin. Economic growth and housing were a major focus in my conversations with the candidates. Councilman Brown emphasized that he wants District 4 in the city of Columbia to grow in a way that doesn't destroy the quality of life for its residents. He also is calling for investment in more green spaces and better infrastructure.
We're in an amazing place of growth and transformation in Columbia, but we got to do it right, and it's balance. It really is about balance, and it doesn't matter if it's 4 lots, you know, for 4 houses or 400 houses. We've got to get the balance right. It's got to be strategic and purposeful.
Julie Lumpkin stated that development is the most urgent issue facing District 4. She says many residents don't know when new homes are being built in their areas, and if elected, she wants to focus on making sure citizens don't get priced out of East Columbia.
We have people concerned that they're being forced out of their homes because of reinvestment in property that allows the hiking of rents. We have people who can't afford to get into starter homes or to move to a larger home in a neighborhood where they can afford the house. We have salaries that cannot support the amount of money it takes to buy a home in Columbia.
Ashley McCall wants to make sure people in District 4 have access to training and opportunities for high-paying jobs so they can make East Columbia a home for generations to come.
I want to ensure that as we are bringing bigger businesses to the city of Columbia, we also need to ensure that we are investing in the people here. And when I say that, that means access to grants, microloans for our small businesses, but also training programs for trades, healthcare, technology.
From Columbia, I'm Taylor Richardson, WLTX News 19.
And do not forget, you can get the very latest from Kiki, Josie, Jamin, Megan, and Taylor all throughout the night. All you got to do is just follow them on social media to get the very latest as the results come in. We appreciate all of their hard work, especially tonight and for the past couple of days. They spoke directly to the candidates as well as the voters who are out going to the polls today. Speaking of the polls, do not forget they close at 7 p.m. and you can find those live results and reaction from tonight's key races on WLTX.com and the WLTX app. Of course, you want to stay with us throughout the night. We are going to have live updates starting on News 19, Friends at 5, 6, 6:30 right here on WLTX Plus, 7, and don't forget 11. We'll be continuing to give you the very latest as Election Day continues. Again, thank you all so much for joining us here on this Election Day coverage, and we'll see you back here on Friends at 5.